Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence and how you can implement them for success in your life. I'm Christy, the founder of Well Balance, where it's my mission to help you connect with your people, grow in your understanding of yourself and your ability to connect with your people, and live your best life to the fullest, a contented life because you're connected and in awesome relationships with the people around you. So without further ado, pillar 2 of being emotionally intelligent is self-regulation. Who here struggles with self-regulation at times? I know I do. Even this morning, I'm recording this series of 5 videos. I'm onto my second at the moment, so the testing of self-regulation could get more strenuous in this coming day, so hold that thought. But I'm onto my second recording at the moment and been having difficulties with storage, video cameras converting to computers, you name it, getting halfway through a recording and I can see that it's stopped recording. Just so much frustration. I have needed to self-regulate this morning because I did have thoughts of smashing multiple pieces of equipment, which I didn't do. Did have thoughts of just screaming and crying and stamping my feet. And I did have thoughts of eating copious amounts of chocolate within the last hour or two. But I have refrained from all of them, self-regulation, because I've got a bigger picture of what I'm trying to do, of what I am doing, and I know that I need to self-regulate myself if I am going to be successful, if I'm going to achieve the goals. And I think we can all relate to struggling with self-regulation at times. We're all human after all, but developing it as a skill is again something that is really going to serve you and benefit you in your desire to grow and learn, connect with others and really achieve the goals that you want to achieve in life and just make an impact on this world, not only for your own self-serving but for others too. So first pillar of self-regulation is having a broad emotional vocabulary. So are you a person that tends to only define your emotions in terms of happy or sad? Or do you have broader words than that? How many words can you think of for being happy, being joyful? Maybe you're feeling excited. Maybe you're full of anticipation. Maybe you're feeling thrilled. Thinking outside the square more than just happy. Or sad. Are you feeling really depressed? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling fearful of something that's led you to feel sad because you are fearful that this thing might happen or that you might miss out on something or that you have missed out on something? Thinking about your emotional vocabulary and how many words you can use to describe what it is that you're feeling. Are you tuned into how you're feeling? Or do you walk around mindlessly, like I talk about often, feeling all these feelings and responding and interacting with the world and people around you in response to how you're feeling without even noticing what you're feeling, without naming it, without articulating it, and without being intentional and purposeful as to how you want to react and whether you want to allow these emotions that come and go in your body. And you don't always have control, absolutely, of what emotions you experience. I'm not saying that at all, but if you're aware of them and you have a broad vocabulary, you can take some control in how you want to respond to them, or deciding that you don't even want to respond to them, that you can just sit with them, enjoy them, or not enjoy them if it's a negative emotion, and you can wait for it to pass. So you need to have a broad vocabulary when you can understand yourself better and really link in to those parts of you and take control. I'm talking about that all the time, but it's important. When we are mindful, we are aware and we have set an intention to identify triggers or emotions or states of being when they occur in us. So if you go into the day with an intention to be mindful, you will have thought about and deliberately want to identify your emotions when they're happening to you and be proactive about how you respond to them. So through the day, if you suddenly experiencing an overwhelming sense of anxiety because a situation has arose that is going to be difficult for you to deal with, if you went into that day with a mindful intention, you would sit and realize, okay, right, I'm feeling that anxiety well up within me. What am I feeling now, whether it's in my stomach, whether it's in my chest, whether it's my knees or legs feeling weak, whether my mind now is feeling overwhelmed at all the possibilities that I'm anxious about. This might happen, that might happen, A, B, or C. My mind's racing. Taking time to really ground yourself in your environment and your body. That is what mindfulness is. So when you're experiencing an emotion, taking time out to ground yourself in your present state, externally and internally, and just taking a couple of minutes to be mindful and aware of what that emotion is you're feeling, where it's come from, what's triggered it, and what you'd like to do with it. You don't have to be fearful of negative emotions. They don't need to control you. They are a feeling that you have within you, yes, and sometimes that might be uncomfortable or yuck, but you can take control of how you respond to those negative things if you have the presence of mind and the intention at the start of every day to be mindful of where you're at, of your emotions, and when you experience them, to be present, experience them, articulate them, be calm as you're doing that, and then be purposeful in how you would like to respond. So that is mindfulness in this sense of being emotionally intelligent. People who can self-regulate have the bigger picture. So they go into all their interactions, into their lives with a sense of knowing where they want to head, where they want to go, what they want to achieve. So a moment of negative emotion or positive emotion is not going to do a great deal in influencing that long-term goal. It might do a great deal to influence that moment in your life, and yes, it might have a big impact in that moment or that short time. A negative or positive emotion can have a big impact in that moment. But long-term, people who can self-regulate can remember in that moment, even though I'm feeling this particular emotion right now, I know that I may not be feeling the same thing in half an hour, in 1 hour, in 5 hours, tomorrow, next week, next month. And I can remember that next month I'm still going to have the same goal as I have now because I can regulate myself. And that the feeling I've got in this moment either might be awesome or it might be difficult, but it will come, it will go, it will pass, and I have the bigger picture, and all of that is okay. So remembering the bigger picture when you set your goals, people that can self-regulate can do these with great success. And no matter the ebbs and flows of life that we all have, day to day, moment to moment sometimes, depending on what we're dealing with and the struggles in our life. But to self-regulate means that you can take control again of your internal state and not allow emotions that sometimes you can't control to get the better of you and to influence your big picture, your goals, your dreams, the success you want to achieve. You can still go out and achieve that all because most of your goals will be big picture things. So momentary, short times of experiencing certain emotions shouldn't have a huge impact on you. Learning to sit with them and express them in an appropriate way at the time is a skill, and it's self-regulation, and it will serve you well. And that's why it's all relevant, because it will serve you. It'll serve you in your understanding of yourself so that you can grow and connect in your relationships better. You're going in much more calm, much more purposeful, intentional, and you can achieve what you want to achieve in your goals, in your dreams, in your relationships with others, your connections, your leadership at work, of your team, whatever it might be. You can get people on board with you because you have clear goals for yourself and can, regulate yourself to get there. So that's why it's relevant. Go out there, smash it, crush it. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, leave them below. Contact me via my website. Until then, next week we will go into pillar 3, which is motivation. Motivation is a key part of emotional intelligence. I'll talk to you next week about that. Until then, connect with your people, grow in your understanding of yourself, and live your best life. Thanks for listening.